down to support the tax protesters.
So Obama has made some comments about the budget and his plans for that. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Mainly what I heard was that he wants to raise taxes.
So what do you think what's the right way to go here?
Stop spending.
Okay.
Cut. And cut the things that I use too.
What about, the big spending programs are the entitlements.
Yep.
Changes on that can range from nothing to pretty massive changes in how those are operated. Do you have a view on those?
They should raise the retirement age. I didn't retire till I was 70 this last year, and I think everybody could do that. Well, that's pretty much it. I think they need to raise the retirement age. They could cut existing benefits. If they cut everybody's, I wouldn't mind if they cut mine.
I'm here to support other Americans in our Tea Party rally.
Well, what do you think? Do you think this mantra of tax the rich is going to appeal to enough people?
It's not going to work because you need to have them. They're the only ones that are going to create the jobs. Poor people can't create jobs if they don't have money to do it, to start businesses, to pay people. So I think taxing the rich is stupid.
I support the Tea Party and 9/12 project.
So there's a lot of talk from Obama and others about the budget. Do you have any idea? What are your views on where that should be heading?
We definitely need to cut spending. Way too much money was spent in, the last 10 years, quite frankly, but particularly in the last 2. So there are a lot of entitlement programs that need to be cut. We probably need to cut military spending as well. And just shrink the size of government overall.
How we spend our taxes and what we do with them is something that is an interest to all taxpayers.
So what do you think of Obama's budget talks about where he wants to move the spending needle?
Well, I can understand his intentions of wanting to invest in the infrastructure of our nation. However, I do feel that there is a lot of waste and that some careful planning and consideration needs to be done. It's just been, too much of throwing money in all different directions by all sides. And it is my hope that there are some more civil and cooperative conversations that begin to take place so that something can be done about these issues, that our tax dollars can be put towards the appropriate, areas and not be wasted, and for the benefit and, for the future investment of the country.
This is my first time to ever get involved in any kind of activity like this, and it's just been wearing on me what's happening in the United States. I'm finally getting involved. And,
So what do you think about Obama's plans for the budget and for federal spending?
I just hear a bunch of gibberish, a lot of platitudes. There's nothing concrete other than we're going to borrow more money and we're going to take it from people who have money and give it to the people who have money. That's the only thing I can get out of his speeches.
So, entitlements constitute a large portion of the federal budget. Do you have any view of what should be done with those?
Well, I'm one of the entitled. I'm retired, and I really appreciate Social Security. But as we get older, we live longer these days. We need to look at retirement age. We need to look at people investing in their own retirement. That was the Social Security was just a stopgap measure, started back in the 30s, and to catch those people had nothing. We've been working now for a lot of years. You should be saving your money and investing it. The government's not investing it. We're just taking it from the people who are working today and giving it to the people who are retiring. That'll never work.
That's good. Do you have any other comments about what's going on?
I tell you, our government is in just disarray. The politicians, I'm just so sick of it, the rhetoric. We need to get things flowing in this country, and I think we're going to have to vote people in that really want to make America great and not tear it down. We got to stop borrowing money. We have to be self-sufficient in oil, and we really have to stop being the policeman of the world. We need to protect ourselves and deal with those things that come up in the world as we see fit.
I had planned on coming to this just to see exactly what the Tea Party was about on the 15th of April. Became more motivated after the current budget issue went through.
Okay. So what are your opinions about what Obama has said about the budget, the Republican response, where the budget should be headed?
I think that Obama's effort on the budget is very disingenuous, that nothing's going to change, and we're about to go through the next 18 months of interesting times where positions will be stamped out and then people will probably pick one side or the other.
So a big part of the federal budget are entitlements. What do you think should be done regarding those big expenditures?
Clearly they have to be part of the issue because they're the majority of the problem. They have to be part of the issue. I don't know that solution. There's some folks that have been studying that. There's some budget proposals that are pretty interesting, but they have to resolve that. And the concern by either party is the first one to touch it is going to be the one that's going to be burned.
I think that the Democrats, and I'm no economist, but I'm very, very concerned about them having spent us right to the edge of the abyss, right to the brink. I think their arguments are disingenuous. I think they're specious, and I don't think there should be any argument at all. We are in a serious, serious state of affairs right now, and these fools act like they want to argue over nickels and dimes, and I'm thoroughly irritated by it all.
So the long-term budget problems are largely concerning the entitlement programs. Do you have any views on what should be done with those?
I just turned 65 years of age. I realize these are hot-button issues. I don't have any solutions. We do have to work with and develop some solutions to these entitlement issues. But we're going to find ourselves right there on the doorstep of all the EU's troubles if we're not careful in terms of Athens or Ireland or Portugal.
Well, just trying to maybe get it through to a few of our legislators that we would like to kind of have them lay off our taxes, get back to the Constitution, quit stealing what isn't theirs.
Do you think this mantra of tax the rich is going to work as a political strategy?
No. It's like race baiting. It's working on people's emotions. It'll go nowhere. Without the rich, we would have hopefully someday I will be rich. And at least this country used to give me that freedom. But the way it's going, I will not have that freedom to try to achieve and make the choices to gain and attain the goal, to make the money for my labor. And I just find it appalling that my children may not grow up in the same country that I grew up in. Right now, I don't even recognize my country.
So a big part of the budget problem, at least long term, are entitlements and that spending for that. Do you have any views on what should happen with those?
We didn't know our country wasn't based on those, and people took care of themselves. And I think that we would be a lot better off if we were left to take care of ourselves, because the government isn't going to do it. They don't have the money. They're going to keep digging more into our pockets and take away from us the ability to take care of ourselves. They want to be our provider. They want to be the one who has control. They want to take away our freedoms. They are not at all interested in liberty. They just want the power. They want to have globalization, a UN international government. Our Constitution has lasted longer than any other document. on earth. And our country has done far better in the last 200 years and advanced in the last 200 years more than any other society in the history of our world. And they're trying to take it away from us and tell us that we should apologize for being a great country. I'm not apologizing for anything. And I'm sure not going to stand by and let them take from me anymore. I mean, I want back what they've taken. I want to steer our country back to the Constitution and the freedoms that it allows us.